Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing an informative speech about black holes. Black holes are fascinating parts of space that are still not fully understood, and in this essay we'll discuss what they are and how they form. Now, imagine something so powerful and so strong in its gravity that light itself is pulled into it, making it invisible to the human eye. If you ever survive the initial encounter, you'll be pulled into it and made into spaghetti. Scary, right? You're probably thinking, good thing this isn't real. But, well, it is real. In fact, you've probably heard about them in cool space movies. They're called black holes. In reality, these aren't as dangerous to us as they would be if it was in our everyday. The average human will never interact with it, and even people who are in space, such as astronauts, have never interacted with it in this time period. Now, of course, as we move forward in space exploration, this may become a thing that we have to worry about. But right now, we're good, especially since they don't move around, they stay stagnant. Now, according to the American Museum of Natural History in 2000, the first idea of black holes was formed by a man named John Mitchell in 1783 when discussing objects so dense that light couldn't escape. Following that, hundreds of years later, later in 1915, Carl Schwetzer's child would solve the theory of relativity that was first thought of by Albert Einstein. And then decades later after that, this would all be theoretical until 1971, when astronomer Paul Merton and Lewis Webster discovered the first identification of a black hole using the Cygnus X1, a powerful source of X-rays. And this was all from Todd 2024. Changing our understanding of physics and the way our space as we know it, as we understand it. You may think to yourself, who am I? I did take an astronomy class in high school. I do understand most of the stuff that most people don't understand in basic every single day life, and I did do a lot of research on that for this assignment. Firstly, let's discuss what black holes even are and how they form. Black holes and their formation is something that has been contemplated since its original discovery. Black holes are seen as cosmic objects, meaning they are naturally forming objects found in space, meaning that black holes are not actual holes in space, as defined by Cambridge 2025. They're not wormholes or portals, they're just gravity collapsing into itself. The pull is so strong that due to it being a small area packed up with matter, that black holes are mostly invisible to detection, meaning it is invisible to us, the human eye, with light not reflecting back to us. So the way we discover it would be how it interacts with the surrounding objects. The smallest black holes, primordial, are as tiny as an atom, but with the pull of a mountain, and it really shows how powerful these celestial objects are, because even the smallest one has the pull of a mountain. Black holes and their formation is still a bit of a mystery. Some of them form under mysterious circumstances. The one that we know for sure that forms would be the stellar ones, stellar black holes. They form when the center of a massive star collapses into itself, those stars being 25 times bigger than our star. So even if our star collapsed, if we survive that, we would not form a black hole. The other two would be primordial black holes, who are thought to have been formed when the early universe formed, and supermassive black holes that form whenever their galaxy formed, such as a Milky Way. When the Milky Way formed, there would have been a black hole that formed alongside it. Secondly, let's discuss what's even inside a black hole and how do we find them. Black holes and what's inside are surrounded by a lot of mystery and have come a long way since discovery. Scientists don't know what's inside a black hole. They don't know what really exists in there. All we know, with most of it being prediction, due to the fact that black holes will pull apart anything due to the gravitational pull. So we can't send cameras in there at this time. One of the predictions being that the very center of a black hole contains a point of matter where everything is being crushed forever through the gravity. Some scientists believe it's physical. Some scientists believe that it's just a mathematical formula, something we can't see like gravity, but at a 10 times or 100 times more powerful than our gravity. Scientists predict that if humans were ever to get close to the black hole, they would be stretched out into spaghetti, as I said earlier, but in a specific term called spaghettification. And the physics and the gravitational pull of the black hole mostly kill a human before they even reach the center, due to the crushing effect. With such little information known about what's inside a black hole, knowing where black holes are quite crucial for us if we wish to explore the stars in a later time. As previously stated, light cannot escape, so we cannot see the global black hole through a telescope. Instead, we have to find them through how it affects the surrounding things such as accretion disk rings of gas and stars. This creates an X-ray, which becomes very hot due to the intense gravity, and then we get to see it if we take a picture of it, which was done in 2017, in fact. April 11th, a little blurry photo was taken and it made history. And the first picture of it was called M87, and it showed how light polarized around the black hole. The intense gravity can also cause stars to orbit in such a way because, in fact, according to a study that was won by a Nobel Prize in 2020 and cited in a NASA article, it states astronomers tracked the orbits of several stars near the center of the Milky Way to prove it houses a supermassive black hole, and they found it. The final way is it can distort light, as I said with the picture that we had, and it bends light in such a way called gravitational lensing that usually that's how we would find invisible black holes are hidden from us. Astronomers and scientists have come such a long way since discovering how to find these space phenomena that are usually hidden to the human eye. To conclude, we as humans have just started our space exploration. We are learning more and more about space, especially black holes. Black holes and their gravitational pull would have unforeseeable consequences for the human bodies, but scientists continue to research in order to understand our universe. I can only hope that as we continue to learn about the galaxy, we further make these discoveries. That's it.